Oh, yeah. It's your boy, a player named Gus. Yeah, that was a really funny reference. I don't know. Does that recognize it?
I do recognize it. Have any of you, for those of you listening, there's a show called Psych. It's on Netflix, so go watch it. It's a beautiful show. It's a 90s show that makes nothing but 80s references, and it's...
And there's not like that crazy 90s, Dwayne Johnson fanny pack kind of stuff in it. Like, man, it's like, it's great, actually.
It's an excellent show.
That's like one of my favorite episodes. It's like where they go undercover in the radio station, they start a radio talk show, and like Gus is like, like this super chill dude, and he's right. he's like giving love advice away, and he always starts it out with like, oh yeah, it's your boy, a player named Gus, synthesizing your vocal cords over the airwaves. Oh yeah, and it's always just like, what is going on? If I had a guy on the radio that did that, I would be super creeped out, because like,
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. It might be a female-oriented radio show. Who knows? I don't know.
That's actually, yeah.
That's probably most likely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It turned out to be a female killer all along in the episode. So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the crazy lady.
Yeah.
So, anyways, hello everyone, and
hi.
welcome to the Whiff of the Midwest podcast.
Part Trace.
Yes.
Well, it's not a part because it's not a. It's just episode.
Oh no,
Episode
this is
three.
one. No, this is one continuous podcast that is happening over the span of several days, and in your case is probably months.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're back with
Little
the soundboard.
do they know that it's all connected. Yeah, Kyle's just sitting there. He's the only one of us that hasn't seen X-Files.
Oof.
Yeah, oof.
Finish him.
So we really don't have a topic for this.
This is just coming out from the soul, man.
I guess, yeah, we're just saying whatever comes to
So
our
here's
heads.
what I've been thinking about for the past couple days, actually, is like with the new Call of Duty game that just came out, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Well, not just came out, but I mean relatively new.
The most recent Call of Duty game.
Well, yeah, but it came out very similar.
Yes.
It has a battle royale mode, and I've just been thinking, video games lately have not been very original or creative at all. They've just been battle royale stuff. Because, at first, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds came out, and actually, technically, Fortnite came out around the same time, actually, but it just didn't get popular until PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds hit the scene, which was really popular. And then everybody started getting into Fortnite because they kept looking at battle royale games, and then that got popular because mainly it was less laggy and more cartoonish and fun and stuff. And
yeah, I don't know.
Because
every YouTuber was doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
PlayerUnknown
another
Battlegrounds, I prefer more than Fortnite. I prefer that over that. But it's just the lag with it. It's so slow and awful unless you have like a really high-end computer. And I've even heard that the Xbox version has that same problem. So I mean, yeah.
All right. Full disclosure here. If anyone here actually played Fortnite.
Yes.
No.
Screw that game.
I have a couple times.
I played it once.
I don't have a problem with the game. The game is great.
I mean,
I like the game.
Okay, the game is
but
not...
the people who play it and who make all the dances, this whole mainstream thing...
I will not concede to you that the game is great. I will not say the game is great. The game is mediocre.
Yeah, the game's alright.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a fine game. It's more so the culture that's developed from the game and from Battle Royale style stuff that we have a problem with.
Yeah.
Because it's just... yeah, it's just kind of taken over everything.
Yeah.
Fortnite has basically become America, which is terrifying.
As with everything, there's also a counterculture, which, by the way, I think Minecraft is a new counterculture.
That is true. Minecraft has been coming in to whoop Fortnite's butt.
I mean...
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I mean, Minecraft is the original, and it's the fact that it's still as popular as it was when it came out is... crazy.
So now
it's a quiet popularity. People aren't as proud of playing Minecraft now as they were back then.
Yeah,
and that's mostly
because it's kind of like I play Minecraft. Why not Fortnite, bro? Huh? Just start doing the floss, like, oh yeah, why not Fortnite, man? Just like
floss.
No,
can you imagine a bunch of middle schoolers flossing angrily in a group, just moving slowly towards some guy in his 30s who plays Minecraft?
Nice.
I love that image now because that's basically what the internet has become.
Pretty much. Yeah.
The craziest part is it's not that hard to visualize. Like
It's
that's
not.
Oh, there it is. I can see it right now.
I can see it right
clear
now.
as day.
Yep.
Oh,
Which is sad. This
Yeah.
is so stupid.
We've gotten to that point.
My siblings have started doing Fortnite dances now.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because my brother brought it in from middle school. Believe it or not.
I have one cousin.
Yeah.
I have one cousin.
And I'm trying to beat it out of him today. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no.
He's in the trunk.
Yeah. He's in ICU right now.
No,
Play Fortnite, believe it or not.
It's
Try to health pack Slurp juice that up. He didn't have enough Slurp juice.
okay. Well, we are starting to need to quiet down a bit because we are in the basement. We're in Kyle's house.
Okay,
and
I'm sorry.
he has family members who are going to be sleeping relatively soon. So we're
Yeah.
trying to keep it on the
One
down
of them
low.
is me, by the way.
Yes, Kyle is getting
Yeah.
to the point where his schedule demands him getting plenty of sleep.
And
so
here, see, here's the thing. When I came home, and I saw my brother, doing the floss in the kitchen, I immediately was just like,
And his name is John C.
and just,
ugh.
so Sam used to have a brother. Is what we're trying to say. But no, I'm actually incredibly proud of my brother because he played an entire night of Fortnite with his friends because they were doing it for his his friend's birthday.
You're proud of him for that?
Well, because when he came home, I said, "So what did you do?" He's like, "I played Fortnite." I was like, "Really? What did you think?" And he said, "It sucked." So
Yes.
yeah, I was proud of him in that moment.
That's
that he was able to realize that Fortnite is not the meaning of life.
Fortnite is.
So,
And yeah, I mean, that would be time to give him a medal,
Yeah,
or just take him out to ice cream.
he has earned a medal in my heart.
yeah.
But so yeah.
Give it
But
a-
but in all seriousness, the main problem we have with the battle royale stuff is just that because it's just been filling up the entire market completely, and that's all that's been coming out, and we just want more.
we want
variety.
original stuff.
Yes,
That's why we started a YouTube channel.
That is true. That is why we started a YouTube.
Yeah, pretty
channel.
much.
I mean, we actually started it before Fortnite became popular.
Well, yeah.
And we've just gained more and more vim and vigor because of Fortnite. We must battle this darkness.
We must battle the Royale.
But yeah, it's just I don't hate Fortnite. I just don't like Fortnite.
I don't like I don't like the
Fortniters.
culture that has come
Fortniters.
from it.
That's
I think it's really
we're just making words
just
up now.
not great.
We are because I mean, what else can
Well,
you do? with
Fortniters
times
are
like that?
Fortnite players.
Yeah.
There are kids in my physics class though. It's like literally all they talk about, and it just annoys me so much. It's like I'm trying to learn what the velocity, what mass times, acceleration, equals velocity. Or
I'm trying to get my physics on, bruh.
Come on.
You're here talking about flying school bus.
Thank you.
Get out my face.
I do not thank that bus driver. Thank you very much.
I prefer my real bus driver. His name is Glenn. He is a saint.
Shout out to you, Glenn.
We love you, Glenn.
You're my boy. To my boy Glenn. That's my middle name, actually.
That's right.
Yeah,
Maybe that was a subconscious connection we just made.
maybe. My inner Glenn is now
Just
happy.
turns out Sam has split personalities. Sam is also his own bus driver.
I guess that is true.
That is true. He drives himself to school, so
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
You're learning
So-
more about us every day.
Yes, indeed. So
Kyle's like, I wish I wasn't.
I'm actually thankful for it. So keeping the recording date in mind, the day after tomorrow, I'm getting my wisdom teeth pulled out.
Oh my.
Ooh.
We did not know about this.
I'm gonna be getting mine out pretty soon too, actually.
Really?
Well, got it for the military.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
so I'm either gonna get it pulled there, or we're gonna get it done before. And seeing as how my parents don't really get stuff done very fast at all, probably getting it done by a military doctor.
Oh, sweet.
And it's
Fine.
literally the week, literally days before I go to basic training.
Oh dear.
Like, and military food sucks. So I mean, like, soft foods are probably gonna mystery meat. Like, I'm gonna, you know,
Well,
round up
when
children.
you
and-
guys have your your customary videos of you on drugs, just let me see them.
Oh,
Send 'em to me,
yes.
and we'll post them on the channel, and
Yes.
I'll be good.
Oh man, I remember seeing one, and this girl thought that her mouth was gone.
Oh, that's
And
right.
she's just like,
Do I still have my mouth?
I don't have a mouth anymore. What's going on? I'm like,
All the cotton stuff. In your mouth.
yes.
Yeah.
Those videos are hilarious.
They're so funny.
So,
if you've never seen them, just look up.
I have no
Oh.
idea what to expect, but my mom is going to be recording me.
Good.
So
Yeah, it's interesting because
And if
you're one of the few people that are like, I can't picture in that scenario where it's like I have no clue what Kyle would act like in that scenario. Sam, I have a pretty good idea, but you, I have absolutely no clue.
I'll be honest, I'm quite nervous about it. I'm
It's
also, here's the thing, I don't like anything medically related either.
Yeah,
So,
that's-
There's that big sex guy.
you know, like I don't.
he's looking at his Sam is yeah. Okay.
There we go. I gotta like that. Okay.
Now is not the time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, medical stuff you don't like?
But yeah, if where was I going with this? Oh yeah, if anything is worth uploading, it's gonna be on my channel.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's a pretty standard procedure, so it's not like anything you need to be overly.
Oh yeah, no. Like, I mean, it's super safe. I'm
But
sure.
yeah, I don't like I
Acting
haven't
high
I don't
afterwards
think
is standard
I have not
procedure?
been to the hospital in over 4 years.
I'm gonna look
Because
up.
the last time I went to the hospital was literally for a tetanus shot, and before that, I don't think I had been to the hospital in more than 4 years. Just because the way our family works, we either don't need to, or it's just like, oh, let's wrap some duct tape around that, and you'll be good in the morning. And we are, for the most part. There's a lot of self-surgery at my house.
Just for the record, Reis is the most Midwestern kid here.
Sam
I wear
shoots
cowboy
guns.
boots,
Sam
and I
wears
shoot
cowboy
guns.
boots and shoots guns. He's got me one up in that department. I think if you
And I
combine, if you
fish.
if Sam and I were to like Dragon Ball Fusion we would become the purest of.
That was not Midwest. I will have you know. Kids in the Midwest do not Kung Fu Fusion or what was that?
Dragon Ball Fusion
Good
Come
Dragon
on.
Ball Fusion
Come on, it's a Dragon Ball.
I'm
reference.
talking about experience, by the way, and not just aesthetic.
No,
So.
I think that
Here.
if Sam and I were to fuse into one person, I think we would become the purest form of Midwesterner.
Statistics of people dying during wisdom teeth procedure.
100% mortality rate.
Still, it's worth putting the risks in perspective. While experts don't know exactly how many deaths are associated with wisdom tooth extraction, they estimate that upwards of 5 million Americans get their wisdom teeth removed every year, while only about 1 in 365,000 patients suffer a brain injury or death when they...
A brain injury.
Or death.
Or a brain injury.
So you have
I'm
a
curious. I'm curious how you suffer a brain injury from removing a tooth.
Well, because the roots are, you know.
Well, yes, but the roots go. The
17-year-old guy. The
It's
thing
like
is,
we were going in with the drill and we kind of missed, so we went in his ear instead. And yeah, you can't talk.
well,
anymore.
the thing is tied to a 17-year-old girl dies after getting her wisdom teeth removed.
Jeez, okay. Why
So-
did we Google this? Now you guys are in for even more trouble.
So it means 1 in
Well, it's by
365,000.
Cosmopolitan, so you might wanna recheck that.
Little do you realize that when you know that people can die from wisdom teeth removal, your chances of death increase by 95%.
No. Well, did you know that like 40% of all deaths in 1 year happen in the second week of January? I just learned that the other day. That's a
Is that
lot.
because of New Year's or
Yes,
something?
I'm pretty sure it
That,
is.
I'm sure that probably.
Statistic of people dying from military wisdom teeth removal.
Here's some information
Oh,
for
it's a little
deaths
exact
from
same.
wisdom teeth removal
Okay.
statistics.
Yeah, it's the same
It's the
information.
same
According to
exact.
Cosmopolitan.
No,
Still,
I went
See,
out of it. I went out of it and still talking.
It's like, what are the statistics of dying during a wisdom teeth removal in the military? It's like, well, it depends whether they decide to use a gun or not.
removed every year, while only about 1 in 365,000
Yeah, you wanna know
patients
what's
suffer a
scary?
brain injury or death when they...
Okay, stop.
Nice. Nice.
Nice. But yeah, I I never had. I went to the dentist once.
I've gone to
in
the
my
dentist
lifetime.
like 4 times.
I went to the dentist once in my lifetime. I didn't like it, and I have had.
I've
I
never
haven't
gone back.
Well, my dad, the last time he went to the dentist was when he was my age.
Really?
He was 19, I think.
I have no
Because
teeth left.
he went to the dentist, and they said, "Hey, the dentist said, hey, we should probably remove your wisdom teeth." And he says, "Why?" He's like, "Well, they're not really giving you any trouble, but they could be a problem in the future, and so let's remove. We'll just be safe and remove them." And he's like, "But do I need to? I mean, I have plenty of room right now, right?" And he's like, "Yes. And it probably won't become a problem, but in case it does, let's remove your wisdom teeth." And so, but he got the appointment for the procedure, and he never went in. And he
Dang.
hasn't been to the dentist since.
What a savage. This dude makes an appointment to go there.
Well,
and they're just
to
like,
be fair, he didn't make the appointment. The dentist did. He's like, "Oh, we'll just jot you down for this time. So show up then, and we'll just do the procedure. It'll be nice and quick." And my dad just never went in.
Dentist like literally goes through like the 15 minutes,
here,
washes
it's like,
his hands
we'll
like
just
4
do
times.
it right now.
Like gets all his tools ready. And he's like, "Where's my 5 o'clock?" And he's like, he hasn't shown up yet.
Sir, the hacksaw isn't necessary. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
Sir, I don't think the Dremel is needed. Brings in like this face mask drill, like a drill press that like hooks onto your head.
Just Doc
and,
Pep
like,
with a screwdriver. It's like, what is that gonna do? How are you gonna?
Don't even worry about it.
Why do you have a spork? To be honest, though, dentists are some of the scariest doctors out there. Because, I
man.
mean, they don't even put you under. They're just like, "Here, let me dig in your mouth with a chisel for a little while." You can just stare up at this.
They're air tools.
Yeah, you can just. Yeah, but I know, but it's just like, "Here, let me just dig out part of your
Well,
tooth."
yeah.
Meanwhile, you can watch A Land Before Time on the TV. It's the 7th sequel.
Land Before Time?
That's all I
you've
did at
watched?
the dentist. Oh my gosh, Land Before Time was great. The sequels were bad.
Well, yeah.
The first one was good. Land Before Time was a classic, man.
When like they do that, they like let you pick the channel before they even start.
My dentist didn't.
Dang.
Just like, nope, sit down. Here's Land Before Time.
My kid dentist, when I was in Still and Rapid, when I went to the kid dentist, they had like this big huge like playground thingy inside. It was like a small playground, but they had like a TV inside, and then you like can climb up and there's like a slide. But the slide was made out of carpet.
Ugh.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know if it was a slide. I think you were supposed to crawl up it into it. The
slide was terrible. I don't even think it was a slide.
Yeah, no, but my little kid brain. I mean, like, oh, it's a slide. 'Cause I love slides. So I went down it. I'm like, and I get carpet burn from like almost my armpit all the way down from like my arm dragging on it. I'm like, and then I have to go into the dentist for the first time ever, and I was
like
so
that
scared.
super fine like?
Oh yeah. It was
that's
the rough
worst
stuff.
Carpet.
So you're
It was
sliding down
rough.
sandpaper.
And so I had this huge carpet burn. I'm like,
He removed approximately 3 layers of skin from the entirety of his body.
and just as I get down, and like, oh, they're like, "Sam," and I'm like, "Oh," and it was my first ever dentist. So I'm like, "It hurts, Mom." She's like, "Well, you gotta do this." I'm like, "Ah." I mean, that was just a childhood in a nutshell for you. And then I have to go in there. It's like, "You got 2 cavities." I'm like, "Ah." I'm like 6 years old at this point. I'm like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "Well, we got."
What it means is you're gonna have a lot of pain.
It's like, "Oh, don't even worry. You'll go back into this little room, and then we'll come and get you, and it'll be about 20 minutes, and then you can go." And I'm like, 20 minutes of what? And they're just like,
Stop!
because like back then, like I was curious about everything, and I was like I was kind of, I mean, I was a pain in people's butt back then. I mean, I would ask them about everything, like, like the kids like, why, that was me. And so I was like, "Why?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I mean, we just gotta take these drills." And he's like, "You're drilling my mouth?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't want to do that." And I actually like tried to.
Don't worry. It's a Hitachi.
I tried to escape though. He put me in the little room and had like an old style arcade video game, and he was like the waiting room of the waiting room. And so I went in there and just like, okay, I like pretended to play a game. I opened the door, I look out, and he's like gone. And I start walking out, and I literally just walk out. And then I realized like, oh crap, like my mom needs to drive me. I can't just walk out of here and don't do nothing. So I go into the little playhouse thing that I went in before, and I like hid in like this little corner of it. And I was literally there for like 10 minutes. And they're like, and then this nurse came and started looking around like, is Sam out here? Sam, he's ready for you, Sam. And my mom's just like, oh, I haven't seen him. And they're just like, what's going on, Sam? And they're just looking around. They look at the plate and they're like, Sam. And I just don't say anything. We're just like, really corner. I'm just
It's like a horror movie.
blend in.
I want to make a scary video of this now. Just Sam hiding from the dentist. Just the dentist walking around. You just hear scratching noises as he drags the drill bit across the wall. And shing, Sam, it's time for your appointment.
That would be terrifying.
And then the nurse is like, Sam. Like a faceless nurse.
Oh, this is scaring me. This is legit scary. You know what would be the worst thing ever?
That's where my mind
You know what would
goes.
be the worst thing ever? Clown dentist. Boom. I just scared you guys. Like you can't even sleep for like 3 months now.
Honestly, the scariest procedure...
But no, let me finish this.
Fine.
Okay. And so they're like, Sam! Oh my gosh! Oh, what happened? Oh, you think he started walking? And I'm just like, oh. And then my carpet burned. I accidentally like rubbed it on like because the walls were carpet inside as well. And I like, well, yeah, he was
Why?
because it's childproof. They can't have like wooden walls
Oh
and you
my
bump into it. And so I accidentally like put my arm up and and then really like, and then I brought it down and it kind of just went like scraping. It was like and they're like, oh, Sam! And they look at me like,
this is straight up a horror movie.
And then my
It's
mom-
like you're hiding, you think you're safe, and then something happens and you scream, and then they just all turn and chase you down the hallway.
I guess that's true, but I didn't run. My mom just looked at me and was like, get over here! She grabs me by my shirt and I'm like, oh,
well, I guess when your mom's involved, you don't.
Yeah.
You do not run away from your mom.
Yeah.
There's
So
no
I-
escape.
All you 6-year-olds out there going to the dentist, do not run from mom.
And I did not get a prize that day.
Oh.
Like, both my other siblings got prizes out of the prize bin, but I didn't. I'm like, dang. Like, seriously, you can't blame a kid for being
It's like
scared.
I should at least get an award for that kind of escape.
Like,
I
seriously.
was almost out.
I was like one of the like that was basically like Kid Alcatraz back then. Like, come on, like you can't escape the dentist, but I did. Beat that, America. Well, top that.
The scariest procedure I ever went through. So I wear for those of you who haven't like seen our videos, I wear glasses. Like I am visually impaired. I had to get glasses when I was getting my driver's license. They said they would,
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't allowed to get my driver's license until I got glasses because I would potentially kill someone. So I went to the eye doctor. The scariest procedure I've ever been through was at the eye doctor.
Oh,
I don't know
boy.
if you've ever been through this, you guys.
No,
You've never been to the eye doctor?
I don't think so. If
Do they,
I
like,
have
flip
been,
the
it's
shades
been, like,
over?
a-
Okay,
that
no.
what
There's this one procedure, and they're like, okay, so here you go, come into this little room. All right, this is where we start. This is before you even meet the eye doctor. This is just
Right.
the nurse lady.
Were you looking
Nurse.
at the little picture?
Hold on. Yes, hold on. And so you don't spoil it for people who've never heard of it, Tim. So you go into this room, and the assistant's like, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do these 2 little tests, these preliminary tests to get you started. That's kind of just to gauge where you're at, and then we'll take you into the room, and then you can meet your eye doctor and everything, and it's great. So we go into that room, and there's these 2 white machines. One of them, you just look into it, and they just kind of scan your eye with a light, and you're like, okay, there you go, you're all good. Then there's the horrible part. You go over to this other little white machine, and it's got this perfect little, just like, it's basically a head clamp. You stick your head on it and your chin on there, and then they tighten these things on your head, and you look through these little eye holes, and they're like, okay, there's a little farmhouse. Look at that little farmhouse until it comes into focus. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then I go and I look in there and I look, and there's this little blurry picture, and then it slowly comes into focus. And there's a little farmhouse. It's beautiful. It's got a cow and everything. And you're like, oh, this is so nice. And then this puff of air suddenly hits you directly in the eyeball, and you freak out because it's like, what the heck just happened? And then she explains to you, this is to test your eye pressure to make sure you don't have any unnecessary pressure on your eye. And I was like, oh, well, that's all well and good, but I'm blind now. You're supposed to be improving my sight, and now I am blind. And so I've gone to the eye doctor 3 times since that first happened, and it's terrible because every time you sit down, you're like, okay, I know what's coming. It's not a big deal. It doesn't hurt. You're used to it at this point. You sit down, the farmhouse comes in focus, and you're like, oh crap. And it always takes longer than you think it's going to. So you sit there panicking, like my heart rate literally increases, like, when are they going to hit me in the face with this puff of air? And then, poof, and you're blind. So, yeah.
Wait a second. I think mine was way better than that. I mean, how is that scary? You got a little puff in your thing. I literally escaped the dentist. Like, I got out of there
I said
almost.
for me personally. Like I said,
Oh, okay. What about you, Kyle?
I haven't been to the dentist or hospital for
Well,
any
keep in mind,
actual
Sam, Reese is
procedures.
probably now traumatized by farmhouses.
I guess this is true. She's focused.
I can't visit my grandparents anymore, you guys.
Sees a farmhouse.
The farmhouse! They have a cow and everything! Ah! It's gonna happen anytime! Where's the puff of air? And then the nurse pops up from behind the couch and just, ah! You're all good. Ah, curse you!
No unnecessary air pressure.
I want to make scary videos now of each of our worst medical experiences. I'm just constantly being stalked by the air puff lady, and then you are being chased by a dentist and the nurse through endless hallways, carpeted hallways.
Carpeted always.
So
and walls.
every time you trip, you get rug burn. And I'm just in a constant state of paranoia.
What about you, Kyle?
What about you, Kyle? What's your scariest ever medical happening?
Scariest ever medical story.
Yeah,
I'll be perfectly honest, I can't think of one.
Kyle's too healthy. He's too perfect.
Pretty much.
Just
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue.
Like I've never had any like horrible procedures go through as of this time, and like there's nothing really. Like it's all, and I visit the dentist like every 6 months.
Oof.
It's just routine.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm used to it, and it's great because I get a replacement toothbrush and all
Oh,
that,
yeah,
and
there you go.
then you get your floss and toothpaste.
I mean, toothbrushes cost like all of 50 cents, but
well, still nevertheless.
yes, saving money.
At least that's what it feels like when you get this little plastic baggie.
Yeah,
I have a dentist appointment
it's an
coming up.
official dentist toothbrush.
I have a dentist
Oh
appointment.
no, Sam has a dentist appointment coming up.
I just remembered that.
Walks in, just carpet everywhere. the seats carpet, the tools are carpet.
The drill bit. Is
The
just
drill bit is just carpet.
hardened carpet.
Hardened carpet.
Yeah.
Oh.
And even I visit the doctor at least once every year,
Oh yeah.
around my birthday, and that's always routine as well.
Yeah, I've never done routine checkups at the doctor.
Huh.
But I've been blessed with health, so that's not a
Yeah.
huge issue. I did break my cousin's toe once.
Well, good job.
Complete,
You almost
and it
broke my
sucks because he
sternum
was
that
like
one time.
it sucks because he was 12 and I was it was last year. So I was 18 and he was 12 and we were on this inflatable raft. We were camping and we were playing a game of sharks and people or whatever you call it. And so one of us is the shark, so you got to drag people into the water and then they're sharks. It's like feeding frenzy or whatever. So it's a fun game until me and him were the last two survivors. And so we're surrounded by quote-unquote sharks, which is basically just my little cousins trying to fruitlessly pull us into the water since he weighs more than me and he's 12. so we're trying to survive, and I'm flipping out, and the whole floaty just shifted, and I stepped down onto his foot. And he starts crying, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry." And I thought I knew he was hurt, but he tends to kind of cry about stuff, so I wasn't sure. And then I learned the week after that I broke his toe.
Oh, good job.
Man.
So I felt really bad, but yeah, it was great because it was the first time I saw him after that, and he just walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, Reese, you broke my toe." First thing he says to me, I was like, "Oh yeah, thanks, Ethan. Really appreciate you making me feel terrible."
Oh man. Remember that one time when you almost broke my
yeah.
sternum because we were
That's an exaggeration, but yes. Oh.
dude, that oh man.
So I was telling. Okay, I should tell the story.
Okay.
The story that I was telling afterwards. I'll tell the story of when I almost broke your sternum first, and then I'll tell the story that I was telling in the story. It'll make sense.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm telling this story. We have a bunch of friends over, and we're out by my rope swing in the backyard. And so we're telling
With a
the story-
tire on it.
Yeah, well.
Oh wait, no.
No,
Was
it was
the...
just a wooden.
Oh yeah, never mind.
But
Yeah,
what
it's a
it
wooden
was,
plank.
so
Yeah.
what we were doing is we were telling a story, and I was telling a story about when me and my brother had done something stupid on the rope swing, and so I was showing that it's like, oh, and so we were jerking on the rope like that, and like that, and I kept doing that, and then finally he went like this, and he jerked the rope. And my arm flew back, and Sam was standing right next to me.
Yeah.
And my elbow just nailed him directly in the chest. And I was throwing my arm as hard as I could.
Yeah.
So he goes staggering back like, ah!
Yeah.
Why?
What did I ever do to you?
That's something out of a cartoon right
Oh,
there.
it was hilarious
Serious.
after the fact, but I just
Well,
like my elbow hurt
Yeah.
afterwards, and he was like
my
struggling
sternum
to
was on
breathe, and
fire.
I
like,
just nailed him,
Oh.
and I got pointy elbows.
Yeah. Like,
man.
I mean, I would have taken them in the gut rather than right here,
Oh,
because he was
man.
right below my,
Yeah.
like right above my chest, but right below my neck, in the
Yeah,
sternum
right on the
area.
sternum.
Oh,
Yeah, it was bad.
oh, that hurt.
I felt
So
really
case in
bad.
point, when Reis is telling a story, you might want to stand back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get very physical with my stories. I like to do arm gestures and stuff, particularly in Sam's direction, which I'm doing right now. But okay, so
Sternum.
and then I've got another story having to do with that rope swing. The story I was telling.
Yeah. At that moment.
I've got two with the rope swing. We had a lot of fun with our rope swing. But so the first one, the one that I was telling when I nailed Sam in the chest, was my brother and I. I was out on the rope swing, and what we were trying to do is get it to swing as high as we possibly could, because the rope was a good 12 to 15 feet long, and so the branch was high up in the air, and so he ties another rope to the rope swing, and I sit on the wooden block that we got for a seat, and so what he does is he starts pulling on that rope and making the rope swing jerk up into the air and jerk up into the air and jerk up into the air. And this rope swing had been there from the beginning we moved in. So it was like a good 5-8 years since we had moved in. And there's weird noises going on in the
It's a
background.
jet.
It's a jet. You'll probably hear it. But so
Thank you,
he's trying to get it to go
International
as high as he can, and the rope swing's been there for a good 8 years, at least since we moved in, and it had been there before that. So it's an older rope.
Yeah.
And so he's pulling on it, and I go flying, and yeah, I'm getting about to the peak of where I stop going any higher, and I'm going pretty high. And so he's like, "All right, this is the last one," and then he gives it a good pull, and the rope attached to the branch snaps. And I go swinging and just roll across the ground, and then I just lay there, and I'm just laying there motionless, like, what the heck just happened? But my face is on the ground, and Alec is freaking out because he thinks I am just knocked out, and meanwhile I'm just sitting there like, what happened? So he's freaking out like, oh my gosh, I killed him. But it was great because it was just 1, 2, 3, pull, snap, bam. And it was just one of those comedic moments. It was hilarious.
Oh, man.
And then there was another moment. This was long before that. This was when we were both in our very, very immature stage of. I mean, that was pretty immature, but
Yeah.
this
I
was
gonna say,
was like one of those moments where it's like, I wonder if we could, one of those types
Yeah.
of deals.
Yeah.
boy.
So
I know
again,
exactly what
I'm
you
the one
mean.
on the rope swing, but at this point, there's no wooden block on the rope swing for a seat. It's just a knot, because we would swing with our feet on the knot.
Right.
All right.
And so what we're thinking is, could we get me to fly like Superman? But rather
Dad,
than
I have a story about Superman
rather
after
than
this.
rather than tying it around my waist, like a normal person, we put it down my pants. I'm wearing black denim shorts, and so we put it down the seat of my pants. So the knot,
What a 90s
the knot is
thing,
like wedged.
black denim
The knot is like I'm holding the knot between my legs, when it's going down the back of my pants.
Oh, boy.
And so.
This is good. This is
So what we decided, and so we're like, okay, I'm standing there with the rope down my pants. We're like, okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, jump. And just immediately hear Rip and I fall to the ground because the knot just flies out of my pants. And so I'm like, oh man, what happened? Why didn't that work? And we're both like, man, that really should have worked. Why didn't I fly like Superman? I wonder. And then I get up and I look, and there's this hole right down the crotch seam of my pants. Just a big hole. And so rather than be going to mom like, oh no, what do we say to mom? I was like, I have an idea. So I take off my shorts. I'm in my underwear now. I put the shorts over my head, put my head through the crotch hole, and my arms through the pant legs. And I go running into the house and be like, Mom, look at me! So I'm sitting there in my underwear. I'm sitting there in my underwear with shorts over my head, with my head sticking out the crotch and my arms through the pant legs, and I'm so proud of myself. And Alec is just like, I'm ashamed to be a part of this. So my mom took some pictures, and it was all great because my mom has a great sense of humor. And so,
That's amazing.
oh, it was.
That is amazing.
That rope swing is.
All right. So Sam, you should tell your Superman story. Then we'll move on to the
Mine
next,
is not that good though.
Then we'll move on to the next segment.
Oh my goodness. His pants. Like as
I'm
soon as
sure-
I heard you, they
I'm
put it down my pants, and I'm
I've
just
got.
like,
I've
I
got
know where this is going.
That's as good as like at this point. I was still wearing my clothes, so I put the rope down my pants. So what's your? I gotta show you guys that picture sometime.
Yeah,
we
that
still
sounds
have
hilarious.
that. Oh, it's so good.
That's great.
So what's your Superman story, Sam?
So I was like, I think it was like 3 at the time, or no, I was like 4. I was like 4. And I like the night before, we had just watched Superman for the first. I had just watched Superman for the first time.
Which one?
Like the original.
The original, really old one.
Oh, the campy one.
Yes.
Yeah, the first non-animated one.
Oh, okay.
The live
Yeah.
action one.
It's a
Oh.
pretty good one. I mean, like those aren't bad. Like, I mean, Superman 2 or 3 are kind of meh, but I mean, that one's pretty good. Anyways, and so I was like, oh man, Superman's awesome. As us nerds, you like that stuff, I mean, I'm not just, well, anyways. And so
I'm not. I wouldn't call myself a nerd, but I like to think that I know enough to be called a nerd. Just like, yeah, move on.
And so, oh, my phone died. Great. But, and so, the next day, we were just kind of hanging out and stuff, and, I was still home, I was still homeschooled, so, I mean, obviously, I didn't necessarily have to go anywhere, so, I mean, I was just, just kind of hanging around. And, the couch, I mean, I'm like, man, I want to fly like Superman, as one does, apparently. I mean, I didn't stuff anything down my pants, but I mean, I went over to the couch.
Don't you know that's how you do it? And how do you think he flies? He just has a rope shoved in his pants. Can you imagine on set? All right, so we got some new tech, and we're gonna make you fly.
You gotta put this down your pants.
We learned this
though.
from a South Dakota kid. He knows his stuff.
He's a real. He's a.
It's a tech
Carry
wizard.
on.
And
Yeah.
so I went over to the couch and I'm like, huh. I started jumping on the couch. I'm like, how am I gonna make this work? And I'm jumping on the couch. That was strictly forbidden, of course.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I was jumping on the couch. I'm like, oh man.
Hope nobody catches me.
Yeah. And then I get on top of the couch, and then I'm like, yay! And I fly, and I jump off, and I'm like, ah! And then I land, and I'm like, that was really fun. Go over there again, jump on the couch. Oh yeah. Jump on top. Oh. Ah! And I jump off again, and I'm like, oh, that was amazing. And I'm like, all right. And then, because
It's time to fly.
well, at this point, there was a plumber at our house because we had some plumbing issues. Apparently, I don't remember what they were. So my mom was busy talking to the plumber about what was wrong, and he was fixing stuff. And so mom's not gonna catch me on the couch one more time. So I go up there again.
Last words.
Famous last.
Yeah, no kidding. And jump up. Oh yeah, jump on. Yes, jump on top. Superman! I jump off. Land wrong. Break my arm. I get up. And I'm crying for like a good 5 minutes. My mom's just like, "What's wrong? What did you do?" And I'm like, and my mom walks in. She's like, "What's wrong?"
Meanwhile, she's terrified at the fact that her child has been replaced by a gremlin.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know what song I was like. I'm just making stuff up, and so, you know, I was probably just bawling my eyes out. And she's just like, "Oh, what did you do? Oh, Sammy, it's okay." I was just like, and she's like, "What did you do?" And I'm like, "I jumped on the couch." She's like, "You what?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Please, no, Mom." And she's just like, "Well, what did you do?" I'm like, "I thought I was Superman." And she's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have let you watch that movie." I'm just like, "Oh, I'm sorry." She's like, "It's okay. I'm just like, "Is it wrong if I touch it?" And she's like, "Oh my goodness." And then she like looks at it, and you can see like, like something was not right. And she's just like, "Yeah, we're gonna need to take you to the doctor." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she goes to the plumber. "Oh yeah, I'm really sorry, but I think my son just broke his arm." And he's just like, "Okay."
Oh, don't worry. I'm also a doctor.
That would have been
So he
amazing.
proceeds to take out his wrench.
But and so he leaves, and she's like, "Oh, I'll call you back, don't worry," and whatever. And then proceeds to take me to the emergency room. Yeah, and then I spent the next like 3 months in a cast.
Oh, good job.
Yeah, it was a pretty major fracture.
Good job.
Yeah.
I have yet to break a bone.
Yeah,
Same here.
that was my first of.
I try not to
Many.
brag about this because I really don't want to break anything.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, hey, I haven't broken a bone, but it's like, am I mentally prepared to break a bone?
It's kind of
Can
like
I handle it?
I was like that for not being stung
mean-
for the longest time, and then I was 11 years old. It was September, and I got stung 3 times in the same month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, bees are...
I mean, yeah, I have enough broken bones that I could, fill up all 3 of our lives easily. Yeah.
boy.
Country
So-
life.
Country life. I lived a country life, but I just didn't break anything.
So that said, let's move on to our final segment here. let's-
Wait, have we had segments?
Yes,
I
each
guess we
story
had
is
the
a
Fortnite
segment.
segment, and then we had
Stories.
medical segment, word sphere set,
And now we're going to talk about movies.
What is our time counter at?
Well, we're at 41 minutes
Oh,
right
wow.
now. 42
Okay.
actually.
That
So
went by
that's
fast.
perfect.
so
Movies.
so you two saw a movie. I saw a movie.
Yeah,
Yes, that is accurate. I have seen a movie.
I've seen many.
I have seen several movies, in fact.
Like you guys
To
went,
which are you referring?
you guys went to see Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
It was really good.
It was really good.
I liked it.
It's one of those movies where you go to see it and it's a kids movie, it's directed more towards children than anything else. But it's one of those movies where you go in and say, this is how children's movies should be made.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those movies where there's enough childish entertainment
Such
for the
as-
kids.
Oh, this burger. Oh,
So
so good.
good. Oh, and other such moments such
It's
as, hey.
yeah, that's pretty good.
For those of you who've seen it, you'll get it. And those of you who haven't, you're in for a treat.
Hey.
But it's got such a legitimately emotional storyline to it,
Yeah.
and the characters are really well fleshed out, and
So
the
dynamic.
the animation was absolutely gorgeous.
He was really good.
It was designed to look like a comic book, and every time somebody punches somebody else or they send out a web, it's like whack or thwip. Like the words appear in the air and everything, like the old Batman show.
Well, but not that big though. I mean,
No,
it was like really
more
small,
subtle,
yeah.
and because of the style of the
It looked
of the
amazing.
animation,
It was awesome.
It didn't take you out of the movie at all.
Yeah.
It just kind of added to the experience. It looked like you were reading a comic book, but it was just coming to life in front of you, and it was so good.
It was
the
awesome.
soundtrack was excellent. The voice acting was amazing. Plus, it has John Mulaney as Spider-Ham. Shout out to that. That was one of the best cameos in that movie.
It was also there was also
Nicolas
Cage
as Spider-Man Noir, which
I
easily
love-
one of his better roles in the later year. In the
I
most
mean,
recent
as far
years.
as voice act, has
Well,
he ever voice acted anything?
I'm sure he has. He was in Astro Boy. He was the dad in Astro Boy, which is not
Really?
which is a reference for how not to make a kids movie.
Yeah, that one was so weird.
It was such a bizarre movie.
I mean, it's based off of something.
It's
I mean,
based off
of a book.
It's based off of manga and anime.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a
I should have guessed.
But yeah, it's
I've got an enemy on my side.
But yeah, so I just because the my mentality.
I have the power of memes.
Oh my mentality for animation for children is to what I view good kids movies and kids shows as is something that challenges them, because I don't know if I've said this on a podcast before, but I've said it to you guys that the mentality for kids shows nowadays is just pretty lights and sounds. Yeah. And
potty jokes.
And potty jokes. Oh, toilet humor is like all the rage these days. The kids will love it. But it doesn't mentally like engage
Enhance
them.
you, yeah.
It doesn't enhance or engage you at all. You just sit there. It's an excuse for you to shut off your brain
You
for
just sit there and
a
rot.
half hour and then just kind of decay slowly. And it's really frustrating me, and that's why the top bar that I have ever set for a children's animated series is Avatar: The Last Airbender, because the story is so in depth and the characters are legitimate and you get attached to people. You get attached to the villains just because they seem like actual people and they're so engaging and
Which
interesting.
does not happen even in some movies.
No, in a lot of movies, you either
that are
don't care about the
professionally
hero
done.
and care about the villain, or you don't care about the villain and you care about the hero, and then. But Avatar has that rare balance where it's like I like both
It's
these.
an
I like
amazing
all these
show.
characters. Like every single character you encounter, even the side characters. When you can make a side character that is hilarious and enjoyable and you want to see return, like someone who's there for 5 seconds. Literally, there's recurring characters who come back for like 3 seconds at a time.
Freak out
But you're
guys.
so happy that they do because you love every character. My cabbages. That
freak
guy.
out guy.
Oh, they're just that is my standard for what kids shows and kids movies should be, because it's a legitimate storyline that
Well,
you
then
can
they ruined it with the
enjoy.
movie.
We don't talk. What movie? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They didn't make an Avatar movie.
No, they didn't.
Screw you. M. Night
I know.
Shyamalan, go away. Just stop. But it set the bar so high for what animation and shows could be. Even compared to live action shows, it is infinitely better than some of them. And so, yeah, I just think that Avatar and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse are two excellent examples of what children's animation should be. And that's all I gotta say. Because, well, let me just say, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon are officially my two least favorite channels to ever visit.
Boo.
It's just...
You guys suck.
I'm not saying... They used to be good.
They used to be good.
They used to be good, which is sad because it was immediately after they released Avatar: The Last Airbender that I noticed that the shows drastically declined in quality.
Probably because they spent a lot of money on that, I'm sure.
Well, they didn't really. When they started out, it was... When they started out, the reason it was so successful was just because they took the time to write an engaging story.
Right.
And then after that, Nickelodeon's like, okay, we got something good here. Let's put money into this show and get it finished and in a way that people will enjoy it. And it shows, because as the series progresses, the animation gets slowly better and the characters get more fleshed out and everything. But it's just it feels like you're enjoying the journey with them, and it's excellent.
The three of us are currently watching through the whole series. We
Yes.
watched the first 4 episodes,
Yes.
and there were so many meme references that we made during that time, most notably
Oh yeah,
Flex Seal.
we somehow Sam and I ended up turning the entirety of the Avatar series into a Flex Seal commercial. Don't ask us how; it just happened.
I know how.
We're gonna try to not do that
Yeah.
next time we watch it.
It was the Fire Nation ship. They were coming in. They were like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
we're
right.
landing. Well, it's like that's a lot of damage.
That's
on your
right. The
ship."
Fire
a lot
Nation,
of damage.
the Fire Nation ship goes into the harbor,
That's
and
a
they're
lot
like,
of
"That's a lot
damage."
of damage." Sam starts losing it, and then I said, "That's a lot of damage," and then we immediately proceeded to somehow turn every single line. That was,
Saw this boat in half.
we somehow managed to link every single line they said to something that had to do with Flexio,
Yes.
and it got out of hand. So we're, for Kyle's
Remember-
sake, since he's never seen the series, we're gonna try and do better next time.
Okay. I'm just gonna put this out there. One of the best memes I've ever seen is the Titanic. Where it's starting to break apart, and then Phil Swift comes up and is like, "I saw this boat in half," and he goes,
That's a lot of damage.
No, and literally the entirety, and then that's just as
That's
the
when
Titanic is
ship
breaking
splits in
apart.
half, and then he's like, and the inside is still dry.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there's just
Everybody,
corpses.
yeah, all the people are like dying, and then he goes to, and it starts playing the Titanic song,
Yeah.
the Titanic song in like the weird kazoo
Yeah.
recorder sound. And then it's Phil Swift like playing the guitar in that one episode, and as the ship is sinking, people are dying. It's like,
Yeah.
wow. Look it up on
Somebody
YouTube,
put a lot of effort into that Flex Seal.
and it's amazing.
it really is amazing.
So that's the best meme I've ever seen.
But yeah.
like there's
and
some,
somehow
like,
we've turned
I
our
don't know about that.
and somehow we've turned our in-depth
it's good.
conversation on quality entertainment into Flex Seal again.
It's so good.
So yeah, back to my original point I was making.
I saw this boat in
You didn't though. But yeah, that's what I think that shows should be, something like, whether or not I don't care if it's a kids show, I don't care if it's a show geared towards adults. If you're gonna make a show, make it engaging, make it entertaining with a good story. That's all I ask. Good characters. You can have bad animation, that's okay. I don't mind, but as long as the characters and the story are good. I mean, beautiful animation is just a bonus at that point, and that's why I like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse so much, and Avatar,
It's all those things.
because everything about it is beautiful.
So,
Just
yeah.
like my
And then you
face.
saw a movie, Kyle? You said?
Well, keep in mind, I grew up without cable.
Oh yeah, Kyle grew out without cable, so he doesn't have the same experience of cartoons as that Sam and I do, and I have more experience with cartoons than Sam does. So
Bob the Builder came.
okay, that is an example of quality. Well,
Was.
it at the for
the
for the
time?
age group that it's going for, that was really good. The
I
stop
loved
motion was
that.
excellent. Stop motion was excellent in that show.
Well, yeah, because
Bob the Builder was my jam.
I used to watch that
wanted
all the
I
time.
wanted to be Bob the Builder when I was a kid. I would go to a friend's house and be like, "Dude, let's play Bob the Builder!" Yes. Then we'd pull out our Duplos and we'd build stuff and be like, "Can we fix it?" Heck yeah!
same. And like that's what got me interested in construction equipment.
Can we flex seal it? Yes.
Bob the Builder featuring Phil Swift. We can fix anything with Flex Seal on our side.
Oh no! Looks like Scarecrow just lost an arm. Let's put some Flex Seal on it. Flex tape him up. Why thanks, Phil. Of course, Scarecrow. I saw this boat in half.
You don't have to mention that every time, Phil, but I did. And you should know about it.
So, so yeah, I sat down with my family and
Sam's dying and Kyle is trying to maintain some sort of professionalism, which
yeah, we gotta wrap up soon.
we do. We're
Yeah,
hitting
we're-
our time limit.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end here.
Sam,
Poor Sam.
you need you need to stop for my sake. I can't. Sam, if you don't stop, we're gonna have to put you in the corner. He's just sitting here in the fetal position, grabbing his head, screaming.
We really gotta settle down.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You good? You good, Sam? Sam. Oh. It's only 8 o'clock. How are we this giggly?
It's been a long day.
And we haven't
I
hung
had
out in a
semester
while.
tests today, and I have them tomorrow.
I've been working all day, so.
Yeah, so I guess so.
we'll just
So,
kinda-
Sam, back to the professional aspect of this podcast.
Yeah,
What were
for
you
the
gonna
final
say?
few minutes, I watched the Incredibles 2 with my
Oh,
family.
yes.
That's a good movie.
Yes. And what did you think?
I liked it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a That's another. Okay, The Incredibles.
Stop me before I say something.
Don't say anything, Sam. Sam, don't say anything. Just
In through the nose.
out through the mouth.
Just say whatever you say.
Okay, but The Incredibles is another one of those examples of my standard for kids movies. Because if you watch the first Incredibles as a kid, it's like, oh, this is awesome. It's superheroes and everything. Oh, it's an excellent movie. Like it's my dad's favorite superhero movie is The Incredibles. Sam, what is your?
I think he's broken.
Syndrome's here. It's flexing like that.
Dang it, Sam.
That's his hair Joe's flex feel. Syndrome's hair is flexing.
Sam. He's turning red. He's just Sam. Okay,
I saw this robot.
Sam, seriously, stand up. Sam, get up and walk around. Catch your breath. Go walk. Take a walk. Take a walk. Okay, Sam's over on the other side of the room now. So, The Incredibles is another excellent example of that. The second one was a very good movie. It was not to the standard of the first one, but that's kind of to be expected. You can't really one up a classic movie.
Yeah,
like that.
I think when it comes to The Incredibles, like the first movie, like it's a standalone movie, and when you're doing a sequel, like all the character arcs have already been completed.
For the most
So you
part,
got to
yeah.
come up with new
I
ones.
feel like there was a good character arc with Mr. Incredible. Just he's kind of learning to be a better father all throughout. Elastigirl, while she was kind of the main focus of the movie, she didn't really have any really character arc.
She just did some detective work.
She was really just there.
And then there was a campy Scooby-Doo plot twist. And
and then even in we won't spoil the plot twist or anything, even though you'll probably see it coming from a mile away because it wasn't a very good twist. But
Yeah, honestly.
But even the first movie, even because it's basically what the second one is it's the premise. It's a similar premise to the first one, but putting Elastigirl in Mr. Incredible's position.
I like that idea.
I did like that idea. But the first one did it a lot better because Mr. Incredible's character was a lot more fleshed out and explored.
There's a lot more weight to it.
There really is.
And you could tell when the time
Literally.
went by.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the sequel could have taken place within like 3 days.
Yeah. Like there was months involved in the first one, and in the movie, Mr. Incredible legitimately thinks that his family has just exploded in a plane crash. And he hears that over the radio. That's the kind of dark, deep stuff that The Incredibles dives into. Which the second one does similarly, because they talk about how the main guy's dad got shot and everything, and they like show it and everything.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where Incredibles explores a lot darker stuff than your classic Disney movies. That's why they're probably some of my favorite Disney movies
they
out
deal
there.
with real life
They deal with real
issues.
stuff. They take superheroes and they put them into a real life family scenario, and they feel like an actual family.
And that's how they're relatable, unlike the characters from Illumination Entertainment.
Oh my gosh, I hate Illumination Entertainment.
LLC.
We shall save that rant for another time.
Every movie they come out with is just like,
But the other thing with the Pixar sequels is that they feel very episodic.
yes, they are.
Like it's something out of like a Netflix or something. You sit down, you watch it, you get up, and you walk away. Like,
Okay, I have one more example of excellent children's films. That would be How to Train Your Dragon. That series.
It hurts to breathe.
You shouldn't have been laughing so much at your own
too
Flex
funny.
Seal jokes.
Don't start.
Okay.
I'll think
But
of something in
How to Train Your Dragon. I want to say that Disney has had some incredible animation lately.
oh yes.
Like, if you look at even just the posters that they had for Incredibles 2, there's a picture of Jack as the main poster. You can look, and he has, like, the individual... No. Shush. Stop.
Just keep going.
But there's the individual tiny little hairs that you have on your skin that you can see on his head, and it's the craziest thing to just take a look real close and inspect it. It's beautiful. And I would say that DreamWorks for the How to Train Your Dragon series is on par with Disney in that series, because when you go in and you look at it in the second one, because the third one hasn't been released yet when we're recording this, it'll be released I think next year. But the second one, the first one had good animation. It was solid animation. But the second one, when I went and saw that, I was younger then, and I saw it and I was like, this animation is insane. It's beautiful, and it's like the fire and the skin, the scales and everything on the dragons, and the skin of the people, like the individual tiny little freckles that don't even show up half the time because they're far away. It's so impressive to me. And the story of How to Train Your Dragon is also a lot more serious than other like animated movies, like Secret Life of Pets or whatever the heck Trolls was. Don't even get me started on Trolls.
That was rough.
Goodness.
How do you come up with that? Is
The
what I
worst
wonder.
part of that is immediately after I watched it. I didn't go to the theater and watch it, okay? I have some dignity.
Yeah.
We waited till it was
wouldn't pay to
released on
watch
TV, and then we watched it on TV.
Yeah.
But immediately after I watched that hot mess, there was a guy on my favorite radio station who tuned in and said, so yeah, taking the lead at the box office was Trolls. It's like, yeah, I already knew that, because, parents are going to take their kids to see a movie. They don't care about what the movie is. And he said, yeah, that's probably my favorite animated movie. And I just sat there for a second, and I was like, you're telling me that you picked Trolls, which is basically an LSD trip for children, as your favorite animated feature, when my 11-year-old brother saw that movie and said that was the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Not to mention, like, you got things like...
It was...
Like, Incredibles. Like, I mean...
Trolls is probably the worst children's movie I have seen.
It's horrible. All it is just a bunch of
There's
these
no plot.
colorful thingies running around that have to say their thing from these ugly things that, like, decide that the only thing that makes them happy is eating these little tiny things, which is kind of...
Or something.
Yeah, which is kind of gross.
They don't explain anything well. There's a ton of moments where you see it and you're like, that serve no purpose other than just being, it's literally just disgusting. There's moments of that movie where you're just like, that is disgusting. Why would, what is this movie?
It's really weird.
It's really bad.
Like, there's this other movie that I think is, like, extremely like that, that's, like, super creepy and, like, weird. It's like, Box Trolls. Have you seen that movie?
I have seen Box Trolls. That is although that's from Laika, and Laika has a whole different breed of movies that I can't even categorize. I don't know what... I like some of Laika's movies, like Kubo and the Two Strings. That was good. Quality. That is another excellent example of how movies should be made. Kubo was an amazing and very dark movie. It was very good. But yeah, ones like Box Trolls and stuff, and they made Coraline. That is a dark movie. That is a kid's horror movie right there.
Seriously?
People like that movie.
It was good, but it's like one of those things where it's like, this is marketed as a kid's movie. This is not a kid's movie.
Oh, really? It's one of those movies?
Yeah, it's one of those movies. Yeah. So yeah, it's just the standards that I have for... I mean, you can't make a kid's movie just be all sunshine and rainbows. Because the moment you do that, it removes any sense of realism whatsoever, and then you realize there's no stakes whatsoever. So regardless of whether or not there's a villain, it's like, yeah, well, based on what I've seen already and what they're putting forward in this movie, everything's going to turn out fine. There's no consequences whatsoever.
Which takes a lot of fun out of it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it takes the. We're not even going to talk about the Emoji Movie because everyone realized that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Everybody.
From the moment the trailer came out.
The moment the trailer came out, everyone is like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You are an idiot.
Anyways, keep going.
So, you need to have weight. You need to have weight to your movies, and we are way over what our time should be. This is going to be a long podcast because I'm going on a tangent, but that's what I do. So, just to cut things short, quality kids entertainment in general, but specifically for kids in this case, because that's where the main problem is right now.
Yeah.
Is you need to have some sort of weight to the storyline, intrigue for the characters. They need to have fleshed out backstories and have a purpose being there. And if they don't
Which
have
was
a
the
purpose,
first half of Incredibles, anyways, was all backstory.
yeah. And
when you
that's the
think about
first
it.
half of Avatar. Like,
Yeah.
the entire first season of Avatar is fleshing out literally everyone's backstory.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Everyone's backstory.
Because that's important.
Yes.
'Cause if you don't know
those
what
take up
happens before
multiple
then-
episodes,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you need to flesh out their backstories. You need to have, and then the plot. The plot needs to be written in such a way that you are drawn into an adventure that makes sense, and isn't something that's so outlandish like Trolls that you can't even understand this fever dream as it's happening around you. It needs to be something that it needs to be complex enough to get you thinking, but not convoluted. Because it's still a kid's thing, so you need to make them think, but not too much.
Not Interstellar.
You don't want to go you don't want Christopher Nolan to make a kids show.
Yeah.
Mommy, what is life?
Ooh.
So that's just my 2 cents. It's probably not even a relevant opinion at this point, but that's just what I feel like should be the standard for what kids shows are. So basically, we're gonna cut it now.
Yeah, we're gonna end it here.
Yeah, we've gone a long ways, and I'll keep talking if they let me. So
Shut up.
then shut up, why don't you?
Yeah, we better wrap it up before Sam breaks down again. So
Yeah,
we're gonna,
we'll let him break down off of recording.
yeah, off mic. So, all right, well,
I like this.
The
one.
ride home is gonna be
I feel like.
interesting.
Oh my gosh, I feel like
this went
this
very
was
well.
a very productive one.
This was very
The
good.
Fortnite tangent, I think, was probably pointless because we didn't really address anything.
it was a little much.
I mean, it was
Just
probably
change
a
it,
little
video
much.
game world.
Kyle, just lessen it in post. Just take out like half of it, and then only add the points where we sounded cool.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale is overdone.
Yeah.
This
so-
is gonna take a long time to export, guys.
Oh my gosh! All right, we'll see. I guess we'll see you in the next podcast because apparently this is becoming a thing. So, bye bye.
Goodbye.
Quit scratching the microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?